It's a purpose-based business. Well, it's a business that focuses on making a difference, a real difference, on addressing real problems, not making up problems and trying to create a market. It's addressing real problems. Purpose is so vital. You might be familiar with Jim Collins and his seminal book, Good to Great. You probably remember that he and a team of people over a 5-year period, they researched over 1,400 companies, and they winnowed their list of 1,400 companies down to 11 what they called great companies. And one of the qualifying criteria was the company had to have achieved an average cumulative stock return of at least 3 times the market over a 15-year period. And what the team found is they tried to look at all the variables that constitute a great company. What they found was that the most important ingredient to greatness was level 5 leaders. And each one of these 11 companies, these great companies, the leaders, they had the same common characteristics. And a level 5 leader, they're deeply passionate towards a cause, towards the cause of the organization. They call this professional will. And these people, not only are they focused on a purpose and a cause, they are humble. They realize their own limitations, and they realize that they need to get the best that everyone has to offer, and they want to see people grow, and thus they are participatory leaders. Perhaps a great leader is like a wonderful mother who deeply cares about her children or the children of other people, and she'll take whatever risk is needed regardless of the situation. She wants to comfort, she wants to love, and she'll fight when needed with an unconquerable spirit to protect the innocent. There's nothing more important to be able to succeed than having a purpose that is noble. And as I have had a chance to really look at history, the people that inspire me the most are men and women in the past that have been people of purpose. One of my favorite authors is David McCullough, and I don't know if you've had a chance to read some of his books like 1776 or John Adams, but he is incredible. He's an incredible storyteller, and he's able to go into history, and he's able to go into original documents and dig and try to really get at the truth. And then he takes the truth and he puts it in a context that can help you and I to have more of a feeling of what's happening and why it's happening and who the players are. And he helped me, among other people, to really develop a love for George Washington. What a man of purpose. Now, George Washington, as you know, he was known as the founding father of the United States of America. And he was the leader of the American Revolution and the first president of the United States. And as it turns out, he did not want to lead the American Revolution. He did not want to be the president of the United States. He was a visionary whose vision has endured for more than 200 years. And what made Washington so great was his purpose, was his foresight. It was his vision. It was his planning. And it was his ability to lead people to really accomplish something that had so much purpose and had so much meaning. Abraham Lincoln was also a man of purpose. And his purpose was a noble purpose. He was the 16th President of the United States and is one of the most regarded leaders of all time. He was in office during one of the toughest times in the United States. He was in office during the American Civil War. He kept the people together. If it weren't for Abraham Lincoln, the United States of America would have been broken up into smaller parts. But most importantly, he believed in people. And he ended slavery by signing the Emancipation Proclamation. His greatest traits was a focus on a noble purpose, was his determination, his persistence, his beliefs, and his courage to sacrifice everything for this noblest of causes. Another great man of purpose, a noble purpose, was Mahatma Gandhi. He was born as an ordinary boy in India, but he had a determination to excel at whatever he did. And after completing law in London, he became the most important part of the Indian freedom struggle against colonial rule. And his policy of nonviolence and protest through civil disobedience, it eventually succeeded when he led his country to freedom in 1947. And his main characteristics, they included a focus on a noble purpose, resiliency, knowledge, people skills, his ability to be able to motivate people and to lead through example were absolutely stellar. So a purpose-based consulting business, we're a purpose-based business. From my perspective, it uses a different type of a strategy. It uses a different type of a business model. And the strategy and the model, the best comparison is the open source strategy or model. The open source model, it has a lot to offer the business world. It's a way that companies and individuals can collaborate on a product that none of them could achieve alone. So there's real no ownership of the shared knowledge, the innovations, and the technologies. Now, why is an open source strategy and an open source model so important? Because if you're focused on a real problem, more than likely you can't solve it by yourself. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to help grow a body of knowledge. You're trying to be a leader, a facilitator of others to really work together to make a difference. And we all know that open source has become an important tool in pure software development. But now, what's becoming very clear is that open source is now helping people in many other areas.